Hello everybody, week 4. I'm Lauren Gardner and welcome to my channel. So, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what I'm speaking about right now or this week. I'll just be real with you. I didn't really want to record a video this week. I really didn't have anything I want to talk about. I really wasn't feeling it, but then, I was reminded, sometimes, we're just not feeling things. Sometimes we just don't want to do things, but the benefits to doing them, we know why we should do them, we know we should be doing them, and it's always important to fight through that emotion of, not wanting to do something, because I am sure, after I'm done recording this video, I will be so glad that I did it. I don't know what I'm going to be saying. I don't know what I'm speaking about, but I know that I was like, God, I don't know. I don't know what I need to say this week. Please, just lead me. Lead my words and have me say what I need to say. Have me say what people need to hear. So that is what I am doing. And that is what this video will be all about. What was really put on my heart to speak about is dealing with times of change and transition, which I'm not an expert in. I am not 100% qualified to talk about this because I still struggle with these times. I'm definitely going through a time of change. I have a new role as intern, more responsibility. I go to a new school. My one really good friend who I could always who I just was always with, went to Chicago, Nikki Hayner. It's just a time of change and transition, and it's weird, and you gotta figure out how to deal with this new part of your life, and if your life is completely different, just how to deal with that. And as you guys are all starting school, which is when I post this, you'll all be in school, so that's cool. You guys will be getting a new schedule, new teachers, new friends, and transition and change is just never fun. So I'm just gonna share with you what in these past couple of weeks I've learned, and what I hope can help you guys as any type of transition, any type of change in your life occurs, you can just hold on to these promises from God. So the biggest thing that I have ever learned is that everything changes. Everything is always going to change. Nothing in your life will be the same in a day, in a year, in 5 years, in 20 years. There's always going to be something different. You're going to have different people in your life. People are going to leave. You always lose people just because separation. Things just happen. People leave your life. Jobs change. Families can change. Schools change, sports change, anything changes. You might not play that sport, you might not be in that school, you might graduate, you might do this, and that, everything changes. And so we have to be prepared for how to handle that change when it comes, because if we don't know how to handle that change, then our whole world just gets flipped upside down. And so the best way to handle that change is to hold on to the one thing that never changes. And that is God. That is Jesus. He will never change. He is the same. He is steadfast and loving and gracious and just. He is there for you. He wants you to win. He wants you to be great and successful. That never changes. And so when you hold on to that, when everything else around you is changing and spinning and doing and becoming something different, you're just in the middle. I just picture God as a pole, and you're just holding on to him. And you're stable, and you're okay, and you're just you're able to just keep your feet planted because you're holding on to the stableness of God as your world changes, and then your world will calm down. It's when you shake a snow globe, and then the snow it calms down, it evens out, and then you'll be able to continue on with this new world, this new life that you may have, these new aspects of your life with God still in the middle. He's the pole, and it holds the snow globe up. I don't know if you picture I did, but that's how you can think of it. And so in Hebrews, it talks about how God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and throughout all time. And so when we know that, we can expect things to change, when we can know that everything else may change, things are going to change, but God will not, you're just able to remember what to focus on when all the world is just changing around us. Another thing is that a lot of times when this change is happening, we can feel really weak. I know I've just felt super alone and just kind of just down about it. And that's where we're reminded, Paul writes it in 2 Corinthians 12:9. He says, God said to him, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. And this is something I've actually really held on to, is this verse. Because like when everything is changing and we feel like all we have is God, God is all we need. But sometimes when we feel like all we have is God, like he's the only constant thing, we can just feel really lonely. We can just feel really like upset, like, well, like I want somebody like here, and like God is here, but you know, it's just like our human brains. Like I've just been like I just have God. Like oh, like boo-hoo, Lauren, you just have God, the creator of the universe. But you know, when we're in our weak moments, we don't think like that. So then I remind myself, like, God's grace is sufficient for me. Like God's grace is truly the only thing in this world that I actually like need. But like I keep saying, it's just so hard to remember that God's grace is all we need. Because we're humans and we want that human relationship. We want to like feel the people around us. And when times are changing and we're losing people, or we're like maybe starting to work somewhere new, or like a new sports team or new school where you don't know people yet, or you're in a class like even this year, new schedule, new class, you don't have any of your friends in your class and you don't know all of these people, you can just feel like kind of lonely. And it's just hard to remember. And so like I get it, but that's just like, no, I have God and I have his grace, and that is all I need. All I need is that God loves me and he's here next to me and he's holding me. And when you're looking for that relationship with people, but like you're just not in a time right now where you can find it, maybe you stayed home from college and like there's no really college students around you. Just like build that relationship instead with God. And really focus on that relationship. And as that builds, you realize that he really is all you need. As you strengthen your relationship with God, you just realize like you want people, you need people, you're still going to find the people. But like in this time of just waiting for that, you're okay with just having your relationship with God and just diving into his word and spending time with prayer. Because it really starts to come alive that his grace is truly sufficient for you. And it's just an amazing feeling, and it's awesome. So that is my little word, very short little what I want to share with you. It is something that I've been needing to really remind myself lately. It is something that I thought maybe you guys needed to hear, or maybe we'll need to hear one day. And so, just a summary, just a reminder that everything changes. Time changes everything. Time is so weird. Like, you're going to look back in 2017, which is almost over, and think how much has changed in a year, and how you might not talk to that person anymore, or this is different and this is different, and it's just absolutely crazy. But time changes everything. Nothing is ever going to be the same. Nothing stays the same. Every single thing in this world changes, except for God. Except for God. And so when you are going through a time of change, a time of transition, just holding on to that constant, holding on to his promises, which you can find like right in his word. He loves you. He's going to be there for you. He wants you to succeed. He's proud of you. He is right next to you. He's fighting for you. And just hold on to that, and hold on to that. That's not going to change. He is still going to love you and be there for you and be proud of you even after this time of change, even through this time of change, even through maybe this hard time because of the change. And then just reminding yourself that God's grace is sufficient. It is all you need. God's power is seen when you are open about your weakness and open about maybe like this time of change. And when you're open about that, like, I'm just a human. I'm not strong enough to handle this. So I'm taking in God's grace and I'm taking that. And that is how I'm going to get through this. Then people see that. People see God's power. So that's a huge plus. But ultimately, like, you're being taken care of. You're being filled with the Spirit. You're being filled with God and his love and his grace. And that will keep you going through that time of change. It doesn't mean like it's not always going to be like all butterflies and roses and all of a sudden like everything is fine. No, you'll still have to deal with that hardness of the change. I don't know, the difficulty of the change. You'll still have to deal with like getting acclimated through that change. But having God's grace, you can do it, and you can see the light at the tunnel. You can know that it's hard right now, but it's not going to be like this forever because I have God, and that is what will give you. Will comfort you. So those are my 2 pieces of advice. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Happy first day of school to anybody who started today, and happy first day of school tomorrow. If any high schoolers are watching, I know Shen starts today. Yeah. Alright. Love you guys. Gardner out.